Okay, the A value is 1 here. 1, positive 1, right? So when the A value is equal to 1, this is easy factoring. This is when you guys could use magic X and the two numbers that you find that satisfy the C and the B. You can go right into your binomial. Okay, so if I look at the first one, A, B, C, A is 1, B is negative 9, C is 18, positive 18. So my C value is positive 18, my B value is negative 9. Find two numbers and multiply to 18, but add, subtract to negative 9. So what is it? Okay, the fact that 18 is positive, see how 18 is positive? Well, your B value is negative? Yes. They're both going to be negative, right? Perfect, 3 and 6. Because a negative 6 times a negative 3 is positive 18, but a negative 6 minus 3 is a negative 9, right? So you got to watch your signs. Okay, so what are my binomials? X minus 6, X minus 3, and so this is factored form, yes? Yes. And we're just going to leave it here at a factored form. I know it says to solve, but not yet. Let's just factor. Is that okay? Yes. Okay. 2 and 3 shouldn't be a problem. 3, you don't have a B term. So 3, if I could just write bigger. This is the equivalent. I was like, how do you spell equivalent? Of this, right? My B value is 0. So what two numbers? Multiply to negative 64, but add up to positive 0. Well, 0 is a positive number. You can't have negative 0. It's always positive. Right, we're doing this one. I just write on paper because it's too small. So what are your values?
8 and 8.
Perfect. Positive 8 and negative 8. They're going to be obviously opposites because the B value collapsed to 0, right? So my summation is 0, which means that they're opposites. So it is n plus 8, and it doesn't matter which one's first, n minus 8. And we'll keep it in factored form on all of these, okay? And if you want to solve and use the zero product property, that's fine. You can keep going further than that, okay? And I can verify your answers if you want me to. All right, the video is getting long, so let's do 4 and then I'll stop the video before I move on. Okay, the fourth one. All right, the equivalent is, hold on, let me do 4 over here so I can write bigger. All right, so the equivalent to what you see, my C value is 0, right? My A is 1, my B is 5, right? But you don't see a constant value, so A, B, C. So magic X, what two numbers multiply to 0 but add up to positive 5? Bless you. So if you have a 0 product, what's for sure? What does one number have to be? 0. So then what should the other number be? Yes. Perfect. Right? So if your product C value is 0, obviously one of these numbers has to be 0 because any number times 0 is 0, right? And then whatever your B value is, well, that's the value of the other number. So 4, okay, just write it right here. What do we have? 5 and 0. So you have B plus 0, B plus 5, or you can express it as B plus 0, right? You could even write it as B plus 5. Because what's anything plus 0? Well, you don't really necessarily have to write it. So this is also the equivalent of it. Okay, let me turn off the video. I forgot I was recording. I kept going and going. Are you guys okay? Okay, so we still just did the easy factoring because we want to move on to when A is not 1. There's more steps required. Let me move this.